What's up, everybody? The Cobalt Starman is here, and we are playing one of my favorite games of all time. It's the year 2000 XAD, and household robots rock and roll were created by master robot designer Dr. Light, and we're enjoying their peaceful days. Ah, it's so beautiful, so serene. But then one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage, and the world fell into chaos, destruction, doom. Dr. Light quickly realized that douchebag of a mad scientist, Dr. Wily, was behind this nefarious deed, but he didn't know what to do. Rock, having an awesome sense of justice and a total badassery attitude of not gonna stand for this shit any longer, volunteered to be converted into a fighting robot, and thus Dr. Light strapped in the boy in his only shorts, and the super robot Mega Man was born. Huh? Is he dead? What? Oh, his eyes. They're flying. Oh. Mega Man shattered Dr. Wily's plans 3 times, and you wouldn't know that because I haven't played those games yet, but the world peace had been maintained so far. But history repeats itself, or in this case, starts from this point. Dr. Cossack, a mysterious scientist, has invented 8 powerful robots, and sent them after Mega Man. Mega Man starts his battle again, or for the first time, this time equipped with the powerful new Mega Buster! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am playing Mega Man 4, my personal favorite game in the series. And I mean, can you blame me? Just listen to that title sequence. Oh, I mean, it's just absolute ear orgasm right there. But enough about that, let's get this thing rolling, shall we? Like every Mega Man game, you have your selection of robot masters to deal with. We have Dive Man, Ring Man, Ferro Man, Toad Man, Drill Man, Dust Man, Bright Man, and Skull Man. Now, most people like to start off with Toad Man first, but I'm going to change things up a little bit, and we're actually going to go after Skull Man first. Probably one of the more unique robots in the series, because his entire level is set forth in bones. Now, if that doesn't speak of the plot device, then I don't know what does. So anyways, yes, this is Mega Man's 4th hurrah into the series, even though this is the first one I'll have up on my channel. And like I said, it's one of my favorite games in the series, mainly because it was that one Mega Man game that I grew up with. It was my first entry into the series that I actually managed to successfully beat on my own, and as such, it's always held a special little place in my heart. As you can see, Mega Man is equipped for the first time in the series with the Mega Buster, which is basically just a fancy term for saying, you know, a charge shot. And this basically allows Mega Man to do more damage by charging up his energy to unleash a more powerful blast. Now, this blast usually only does about the power of about 2 or 3 shots at once, but it's still enough sometimes to get these enemies out of the way, and ooh, I will take that, thank you, Eddie. What I just picked up there was the energy tank, which we may have to use on an occasion here or there. I'm not going to hold my breath to that though, because, well, I'll be honest, this is probably one of the more easier games in the series. Or at least it was to me anyways, but then again, that might be because how much I played it when I was little. And you can't respawn like that. This is a no respawning zone. There we go. Now this level is absolutely loaded with energy tanks, and if for some reason you're finding yourself needing them, then this is the level to pretty much go to, because, I mean, you've got an Eddie spot, which you can pretty much, or well, Flip Top as he's also known, which you can pretty much use to manipulate him to actually give you an energy tank. Then there are also 2 energy tanks located in this level that we can pick up, and I'm going to be picking up one of them right now, along with the one I picked up earlier, making for a total of 3 possible energy tanks in this level. Again, I don't think it's really necessary to have that many even in the game, but, you know, whatever. Now, we're actually almost at the end of this level now. We've only got one more stretch to go. And this is probably the more difficult portion of this level, mainly because of these little skeleton guys here, as you can see, that can only be destroyed by the charge shot, are perfectly capable of completely making you lose everything if you jump at the wrong moment. Luckily enough that those skeleton Joes, though, are just no match for the charge shot. And with that, we arrive at Skullman's lair. Now here's an interesting fact about Skullman. We'll first wait for his energy to charge up. And then you can just stand here. And Skullman will not move. He will not do anything. He will just stand there having a staring contest that Mega Man continuously loses because he has a pattern of blinking every 3 seconds. Anyways, you can start this battle off by simply jumping and shooting at the same time, and if you're lucky enough, like I unfortunately wasn't, you'll be able to actually hit Skullman while he's in mid-jump. Just a handy little tip there. And from there, he's got a pretty basic pattern. His bullets will, of course, fire based on where you'll end up being, whether you're in the air or running away from him. Then he'll fire his shield and try to run into you, simple as that. Now, firing your Mega Buster while he's got his shield up will pretty much do you absolutely no good whatsoever. Skullman cannot be affected by anything while he's got that shield up, so don't even bother trying to. And one more shot, and we got him. A perfect win already. Alright, we're starting off this little El Ping adventure on the right foot. And with the defeat of Skullman, we get the Skull Barrier. Now, the Skull Barrier is actually probably one of the more useful weapons in the game. It allows Mega Man to create, as one might expect, the shield that Skullman used around him. But that shield will of course be diffused after an enemy hits it. But if you're lucky, you'll actually be able to kill an enemy with it at the same time. Unlike its predecessor, the wood shield, you don't have to worry about hitting the direction and causing it to go out. In fact, we're going to go ahead and use it now, because it makes this section a little bit easier to deal with. Like I said, these enemies right here are particularly weak against this. Now, this weapon is actually Dive Man's weakness, which is one reason why I went to him next. Although I'm not really going to be using it against him, because it's sort of a pain in the butt to actually hit him with the Skull Barrier, because it involves you getting like really close to him. And a general rule in Mega Man games is if you have to get close to an enemy to actually use their weakness on them, it's not really worth using, especially when dealing with Robot Masters. Now this section has a little bit of whales that you'll have to deal with, and these whales kind of serve as, I guess, like a mid-boss of sorts. Ooh. I never said you could hit me. I never said you could hit me twice. What are you doing? This is a no-hitting Mega Man zone. Whatever. And now this section actually this level actually introduces something a little bit new that wasn't in many Mega Man games before. Basically meaning that it wasn't in any of them except for maybe the first one, and that we have an extra adapter that we can pick up in this level. And we are actually going to be picking that up because I am doing a 100% run of this game, which by that I mean basically picking up 2 extra items that are in this game, the first of which is, of course, like I said, in this level, which we'll be getting to in just a moment. First, we have to take care of this whale again. And this guy can be rather annoying because, as you can see, he fires his missiles out at such a rapid rate you can almost barely dodge them in time. But anyways, once you beat him, jump down this hole and carefully navigate your way down this treacherous and tricky trap of dangerous spikes. And if you manage to get down here without piercing your butt against the wall, you'll get the wire adapter. Now the wire adapter pretty much works exactly like Rush Coil does, which was introduced in Mega Man 3. It basically allows Mega Man to reach areas his normal jump normally wouldn't allow him to reach. Unfortunately, we don't really have much of a use for it in this level, and we probably won't be showing it off for a few videos, because there are a few things I have to do before I actually go to any level where it'll be useful at. And he took the easy path for me to kill him with this time, and I thank him for that. Now be careful when you kill this whale, because it can be pretty easy to actually fall down that hole. Something that I've done hundreds of times in my past when I was but a small child playing this game. You know, back when I was just a young pup that was wet behind the ears. This level actually used to be one of the hardest problems. Not actually because of the level itself, but rather because of the boss that we'll be fighting at the end of this level. I used to be rather uncomfortable dealing with Dive Man, and as a result I would end up saving him for last, only coming to him after I farmed up energy tanks because I was a little kid back then, and you don't think, oh, well, this guy's got a pattern I can follow. Now, what is Dive Man's pattern, you ask? Dive Man will charge after you like that, and if you can get to the other side of the room fast enough, he will basically just spend the rest of this fight shooting those 3 missiles at you and then charging back to where you were standing at. And if you keep that in mind, you'll actually be able to just get him stuck in this little loop of a pattern. Well, you gotta be careful, because Dive Man won't always fall for this trick. In fact, if you try to charge up another shot in the middle of the fight, he'll actually just forget the pattern altogether and try to charge at you in the middle of what you would think he would just be shooting 3 missiles in a row. But anyways, we've got Dive Man defeated, and as such, we will be getting yet another Robot Master weapon from him. And this weapon is another particularly useful one, the Dive Missile. The Dive Missile acts as a little homing torpedo, you know, kind of like it did in that level. If I would have jumped around, you know, his missiles would have followed me. And we're actually going to be using that in our next level we go to, but I'm actually going to end this video right here. So this has been the Cobalt Stallman, and I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next part of Mega Man 4. Take care, y'all. Bye.